Eric Arnold here in the Sports Barn, Tuesday, July 7th. And we are going to talk about the Philadelphia Phillies as we're almost done with our MLB preview series. Just the Phillies left here, and then we'll kill the sound here. The Phillies and the Nationals, that's what's left. And there you have that. Some days I got like a whole bunch of stuff written on this piece of paper, and some days I got hardly any. Today's a hardly any day. I just had like one thought. I was speaking with a subscriber today. I'm not going to say who. And, I'm talking virus because I can't help myself. Everybody's telling me I need to wear a mask, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm explaining my views on that. I can hear just the condescension, the doubt, the you don't know what you're talking about coming through the phone. And I started to get annoyed, maybe not right to his face, but the more I thought about it. And so I thought one of the problems is that I'm telling you all this stuff I figured out on my own. And you're like, who the hell are you? You're a moron. I mean, there are epidemiologists out there telling us what to do. Clearly, this is the thing to do. It's like, okay, let me give you a guy. Michael Levitt. He's from Stanford University. He's about 73 years old. 2013 Nobel winner in chemistry. So, how about that guy? He's pretty smart, I would think. Well, he thinks exactly what I think, which is that we're almost at the herd immunity level. His level is even much lower than mine. I was thinking that, we'd have to get, upwards of half the population infected before this thing burns out. He thinks it could be as low as like 20%, which we've got to be pretty close to right now. So there, I'm not just parroting what he's saying. I figured this out on my own. He's saying what I'm saying. How about that? So I feel like I'm not totally making this up. But, you make up your own mind. I don't know. I just fail to see the sheer common sense of as soon as people were allowed to protest in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, not to mention go do whatever else you want to do as far as like bars or beaches and whatnot, the die was cast. So it's too late to put the toothpaste back in the tube, even though the government clearly has policy or political reasons for wanting to do it. But, herd immunity is the way we're going. So, and to continue the lockdowns, continue the mask, just drags it out. It's the wrong thing to do. But, hey, that's me. That's just me. That's all I got there. So luckily for you, now we can just move right on into the Philadelphia Phillies, the hometown team. What do we think about the good old Philadelphia Phillies? I'm contractually obligated to root for the Philadelphia Phillies. Lifetime fan. The barn sits squarely within the Philadelphia sports sphere of influence. I am not one of those front-running front runners that roots for teams that are not within the sphere of influence. So absolutely, we're a Phillies fan. God help us, because this team sucks. This is a bad team. And don't let fools like my brother tell you otherwise. This is a bad team. Here is the return on investment. Minus, 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 minus. In fact, they have a streak going all the way back to 2012 of being losers as far as betting goes. The only team that has a longer streak are the Miami Marlins. Had to look that up. So 9 straight years of chewing money for the Philadelphia Phillies. Even when they get better, they still chew money. I mean, look at this. 66 wins in 17. They improved 14 games to 80 wins, and they still lost 4.2%. I don't know what people were expecting there. I can't even remember that 18 team. Was the expectation that team was going to win the division or something? I don't recall, but clearly somebody must be thinking this team's much better than it is. Vegas has set it at 31.5. That's below the Braves, below the Mets. It'll be below the Nationals, as it should be. That would equate to 85 wins. Let's talk one thing I do like about this team. Joe Girardi, I think, was a smart hire as far as manager goes. Gabe Kapler was just the wrong guy at the wrong time for this team. Kapler, a rookie manager with a lot of young players who don't know how to win. Just a bad fit. I would say that the team the Phillies put on the field in these last few years, they needed a guy that's been there, that's done that could teach them how to win. Instead, we give them Gabe Kapler, a guy who struggled to learn how to even change pitchers. So, Kapler may get better as a manager. If you forgot that video, I thought he's actually going to do pretty well in San Francisco. What is it, Porky? Cat's distracted me. He's wandering around here. Probably looking for a meal or something. So Kapler out, Girardi in. I was going to mark that as a big positive, but I just think the short season's going to short circuit that. He's just not going to have enough time to make his changes, to teach these guys how to win. The Phillies have a mix of veterans and young players. The problem is the veterans are mostly all guys with no winning experience either. So this is a team almost wholly, I guess with the exception perhaps of Jake Arrieta, of any kind of winning pedigree. If you want to just go down the list, you got Real Muto. He's good at capture, but he's a free agent next year. So in this bastardized 60-game season, is this guy going to sell out? I mean, I almost think he'll be just in the back of his head. He's got to be thinking, big payday if I just, stay the course here and nothing unusual happens, i.e. I don't get hurt. You got Reese Hoskins at first base. Perhaps in this 60-game thing, he may be better suited as the DH because he's just not that good in the field. It's not really his fault. The Phillies have jerked him around. They put him in left field where he clearly didn't belong. Now he's in his natural position in first. He's still not a great defender. I mean, he hit 220-something last year. You don't hit enough home runs to offset 220, buddy. So, poor year for him last year. Kingery at second, he's a guy I like. I want this guy to be one of my favorite players. I think he's a guy that could be, like Utley was, or maybe a Dustin Pedroia. He should be a functional, good, possible all-star for the Phillies for years to come. Didi Gregorius, new guy at short, don't know much about him. I think he's just a run-of-the-mill dude. Segura at third, actively dislike this guy. Last year, McCutchen tore his ACL because Segura didn't run out of pop-up. That's what happened there. So, I have animus towards Segura. Outfield, what do we have out there? Jay Bruce, nice. Not thrilling, but nice. McCutchen returns to center. He's old. He's getting old. He just missed a whole season with a torn ACL, coming off a torn ACL. What am I getting out of this guy, And then we come to Bryce Harper. Oh, my. I was already kind of not real excited about this team a couple of years ago, and then here they go out and they get the most hated guy for us in Philadelphia, and they sign him for 13 years. I forget what the math worked out to, but I think I'm going to be well into my 60s by the time this guy's contract expires. I could literally die before this guy ages off the Phillies. He may outlive me. I'm getting sad just thinking about it. Look, any Philly fan that tells you we didn't hate Bryce Harper before we signed him is lying to you. We hated this guy. I mean, he was the perfect opponent player to hate. You know, that cocky, arrogant guy with his fake hustle and his weird dances, and you know, you just love to beat the guy. And then we go and sign him, and now we got to pretend we like this guy? Come on. I mean, you know, in fairness to Harper, he's, you know, done in his whole routine to say how much he loves Philadelphia. It's like, okay, buddy, space, you know, social distancing, dude. I don't know if I love you. You know what would make me love you? Don't strike out so much. You know, hit more than freaking 260. You know, you can call me an asshole too sometimes. If you're going to tell the fans that, you can go kiss my ass. Well, at least Mike Schmidt would do that, but he would hit 40-some home runs a year and play Gold Glove defense at third base. You don't do any of that. So, you know, we don't have to love each other, Bryce, but you got to be a hell of a lot better if this team's ever going to win. You know, they're paying this guy, what, $30 million a year, 25, 27, $30 million a year forever. You know, he has to be better. He has to be better. He's just an average guy right now. And it's frustrating watching him. I mean, the talent is there. It's not like he's heavy, slow. I just think this guy mentally takes at-bats off, games off. You know, I can't reconcile that any other way. You look at the back of his baseball card, he has a season where he hits 320, and then he drops down 100 points in the following year and hits 240. It's like, what the hell? You know, all I can think of there is that this guy just, you know, when he's focused, he's good, but when he's not focused, you know, I've always thought that Harper needs somebody to teach him how to win, and I was hoping that might be Girardi, but he just has so little time with him. I don't know, and I just don't like Harper. Sorry, you know, his whole persona annoys me. It's just me. I'm sure a lot of fans out there love him. I mean, just think he's the best. We love Bryce Harper. So, you know, that's. Our offense is just so. Our starting pitching, it just so. You know, Nola's a good number one. I have no idea how many we're paying Jake Arrieta $25 million. I have no idea if he's going to be able to throw 5 starts, you know, before he gets hurt. Zach Wheeler, I mean, I'm not even sure he's going to play. He's making him sound very much like he's not going to play. That's one of the problems. I mean, the Phillies are set up in such a bad way for this year. I think the teams that are going to have success this year are teams that have been together, teams that aren't going to need time to gel, you know, to get to know each other. The Phillies are a collection of, you know, plug-ins, free agents, cast-offs, you know, and none of these guys really have a whole lot invested in the 2020 Philadelphia Phillies. They just don't. So I'm not expecting big things from these guys. Did I leave anything out, Porky? He's sitting there on his chair. I don't know. Clearly, the arrow goes down. Feed these guys. You know, I don't think there's I like Girardi. I think he's a good manager, and he himself may somehow pull that arrow a little bit to the upside, but you know, there's just too much of a mess here. There's too many other good teams in the division. So I don't see it here. Don't see it at all. You know, this will be the 10th straight year, 10 straight years of losing money for the Philadelphia Phillies, of undercoming expectations, 10 straight years. I'd like to see the Phillies PR department spin that one. Hey, come on out to the ballpark, see the Fanatics, see a team that's not as good as you think it is. I wonder if that would fit on a t-shirt. So there you have it. That's all we got for you. Well, we got one more team, the world champion Washington Nationals. That's it. After that, the season preview set is over, and we can get into, well, a sum-up video, and then we still got 2 weeks before start. So we'll probably break out a plan story then. The plan. I learned something there with the video with Ghislaine Maxwell, and I thought, if you have certain words in the title of the video, it automatically generates more hits. Clearly, there's some interest in Ghislaine Maxwell, because there's just no way in the world there are that many of my subscribers who give 2 shits about the Atlanta Braves. That was the title of the video, Ghislaine Maxwell and the Atlanta Braves. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's other National League East fans going, wow, do the Atlanta Braves, are they hooked up somehow in this Epstein mess? That would be kind of cool. Maybe they'll all get suspended or arrested or thrown in jail forever. But I really, let's face it, some of the best players on the Atlanta Braves were 10 years old when Epstein was running wild in New York City. So they're not mixed up in it, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. I'm not that much of a hater. My brother would be. He'd be. If he was here, he would say, we could get rid of Ronald Acuna if he had to go to jail for 20 years. It's like, I'd just as soon see Ronald Acuna play. Even though he's playing against us. The guy's never done anything to me. Doesn't owe me money. I'm okay with him. So that's all we got for you. Thanks for being here. We'll come up with something for Nationals, and we'll see you again. Thanks. Out.